Hey everyone, Dan at Bushcraft. Well, I told you guys the next video that I would do would be my 2019 Bushcraft loadout. So that's what this video is. I'm going to unload my pack for you guys, show you what I carry on my belt, show you what I carry in my pockets, just give you the whole rundown. So for 2019, okay, start with what I carry in my pockets. In my pockets at all times when I'm out are a small hank of parachute cord, windproof, waterproof matches, the kind from UCO that burn for about 15 seconds, a piece of fat wood. You guys have seen me do one stick fires with these a couple times, and a Swiss Army knife. These are the items that are in my pocket at all times when I'm out and about. Next, my Bushcraft belt. Now, I did a video last year on my Bushcraft belt, but since then I've changed some things. So from previous videos, you guys know I started carrying the Benchmade knives. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of what's on the belt. I have, and as you saw me test both of these, on my right side, the Benchmade Puko, and right behind it, both hanging from danglers, by the way, which is something I really like. I put anything that I carry on my belt on a dangler. For me, that just makes it really easy to get to, and when I sit down and stuff, it turns up and is completely out of the way. So behind that is my Benchmade Bushcrafter, and a little extra ferro rod stuck in the sheath for no other reason really, except for there was a hole there for one, so I put one on. On the other side of my sheath, I have my ferro rod. You guys saw me do a video on the new Hexafire by Uberleben. I have my Baco folding saw, also on a dangler in a custom sheath made by local leather shop here in Bryanville, Painted Hills Leatherworks, and 50 feet of parachute cord also hanging on a dangler. All of that is on my belt, so when I walk away from camp, if I see a pole or something I want to cut and bring back, or some firewood, need to tie something with cordage, need to use my knives, whatever the reason, I've got all of these tools on my belt. So when I walk away from camp after I've set my pack down, I've always got essentials with me that I might need. Okay, the backpack. My favorite brand of packs are Spec Ops brand. I've owned a couple different sizes of these over the years, and I really like them. It is the most rugged, heavy-duty pack that I have ever used. 1000 denier Cordura, extremely comfortable. This model is called the EDC, Everyday Carry Pack. Spec Ops brand again. And attached to the bottom, I have a wool blanket. Now, when I'm out hiking in the summer and whatnot, I will usually just leave it behind in the vehicle. But whenever I throw my pack in the rig, just because I don't know what the weather's going to do, or if I'm going to be out overnight, I have it with me. Under, or just above that, in a 2-quart canteen pouch, is my Uberleben Kessel. Stainless steel pot scrubber, by the way. And you guys saw my field test of the Kessel. Used it again out last time on a tripod. Really like it. Inside I just shoved miscellaneous odds and ends. Right now I've got a can of Vienna sausages, some hot cocoa, some of these emergency drink mixes, a rag, a couple little MRE toilet paper. Sometimes I'll shove some salt and pepper down in there, just whatever I feel like bringing. And I have to add a note, guys, on the Vienna sausages. It is bad luck to go into the woods without Vienna sausages. So you guys be safe out there, carry Vienna sausages with you in your pack, because you're asking for trouble if you don't. So that's something I learned from my dad growing up. Anyway, last year I did a video on my wilderness first aid kit. Nothing's changed. If you guys want to see in detail what is in here, you can go to that video. I went through wilderness first aid training last year up in the mountains and absolutely loved it. So I built my first aid kit around those classes and what the instructor said I should be carrying, not for myself but also for students when I'm out teaching. But it's a trifold pouch. All the contents are right in here, and as I said, if you go through my videos, there's a video, I think it's called My Wilderness First Aid Kit, from last year. Nothing has changed. It's the exact same contents in that. And by the way, this Spec Ops brand pack has places all over to attach stuff, as you can see. So I've had no problem finding places to attach extra gear. I got a heavy duty climbing carabiner attached back here. You guys know I do a little bit of rappelling, nothing too extravagant, just more of a hobby. On this side, I have a small pouch that holds my Sawyer water filter, straw, and bag. So that's real handy whenever I need to fill up my water bottles. It's just right here on the side where I can grab it easily. I carry two 32-ounce stainless steel water bottles. I've got one on this side. They're both Pathfinder brand, by the way, just because I've felt haven't found anything better with the cup. And of course the lid. So a lot of times if I'm making a dehydrated soup or something, I'll boil my water in my Kessel and then pour it here in my cup. Eat it right out of my cup. The other side, I just have kind of a standard little pouch, another 32-ounce Pathfinder stainless steel bottle. Okay, in the side pouch here, I have my spork for meals, and I managed to shove 4 Cliff Bars down in here, so I always have Cliff Bars with me. I found for me that to be the easiest, quickest snack on the trail, and I always get a real nice energy boost from them. Behind these, unbuckled thing for you here. By the way, it does have side buckles so you can compress this pack down real tight. I have my Grand's Force Brook hatchet. Use it regularly, pounding tent stakes on this end and delimbing poles with the other. One of these days I'm going to do a fire making video with this because it actually makes really nice curls. On the other side, I already showed you the water bottle. This is a tinder pouch from Hidden Woodsman. It's just kind of got a fold down top on it, buckles right onto the side of my pack. Right now it is stuffed completely full of sagebrush bark, which is my favorite tinder. You guys have seen me spark that with a ferro rod and it just goes up. It works great with flint and steel fires, a bird's nest for bow drills, just awesome stuff. And then I went on Amazon here just a couple weeks ago. I was looking for a small shovel, you know, for digging holes, cat holes when you're out using the restroom, and also I want to make a Dakota fire hole this year. I have never made one, so I think my first project is going to be to go out and make one, and I'll film it when I do. So I wanted a little shovel. I don't know how to pronounce the brand name on this, but it's spelled I-U-N-I-O, maybe Wino or Uno or something. That's a little compact folding shovel with the handle that screws in, and the sides are sharpened, and it's got a little saw on top to just screw your handle in, unfold it. I stuck it in the dirt a couple times out here and it felt like it was pretty solid and stuff, so we'll get a chance to test it out when I make that Dakota hole fire. 17 bucks, we'll find out, because they say you get what you pay for. So hopefully it's not something I'm disappointed with. Okay, let's go ahead and load this out. We'll start with the back pocket first. Up here on top, in my back pocket, is where I keep the majority of my food. Now, I have my Cliff Bars here, so when I'm on the trail, I can just pull one out real quick and zip up. But inside, I have MREs, I have a bag of jerky, a couple bags of nuts. Yes, I'm a fan of Spam, so I've always got a couple of these Spam classic singles down in there. So I pretty much shove this back pocket full of about everything that I like that I can get in it. Really stuff it full. And on the bottom pocket, which is right here behind this, I keep leather gloves. Don't like pitch all over my hands, and I don't like getting slivers, so when I'm working with woods, building shelter or whatnot, I'm always putting my gloves on. I have parachute cord, a couple of these, 2 different sizes of bank line, which I usually reserve my bank line for making different kinds of snares and traps. More parachute cord. As I said, I carry quite a bit of that. A roll of Gorilla Tape, just because you never know what might be in need of an emergency repair, and this stuff is supposed to hold about anything together. I used it to hold a lean-to together that I'd made out of 55-gallon drum liners and in the wind, and it held up nice. I have a Coast brand headlamp, the kind that has both white on one side and red on the other. Also have a Coast brand flashlight, same thing, white on one side, red. Extra batteries. And just so that I can see what's out there when I'm out hiking, because I, am really into viewing wildlife and the scenery. Small pair of Tosco binoculars and a Sunto compass, kind with the base plate opens up with the mirror inside. And that just about does it for this pack, or this pocket. Sometimes I have an extra set of bootlaces in there. So, open up the main compartment, show you guys what I have. So you'll never know when the weather's going to change when I'm out. It's kind of crazy this time of year through June. I've been up in the high mountains when the day started out warm and I was in a t-shirt. Late afternoon, blizzard. Fortunately, I had a fire already going in a shelter, so I sat that one out. But I have a wool cap, wool mittens, the kind that fold back so you can get your fingers out if you need to work with them. Of course, I always have a can of stew or chili for dinner if I'm staying out overnight. In this case, I got the good old Denny Moore beef stew. Toilet paper. Not a big fan of pine needles on the back side, so that's an essential. And if I am staying out overnight, powdered milk and Carnation instant breakfast drinks. Just gives me a fast breakfast that refills my energy levels and whatnot. Okay, I have down in here my fire kit. It's in a pouch from Hidden Woodsman. And in my fire kit, I have lighter, more windproof, waterproof matches, cotton balls with Vaseline. I've got a couple pouches of these. This one only has 2 left in it, but I've got another one down in here that's got a bunch more. I also have Fresnick lens, carry a little pouch, and an extra ferro rod, a couple pieces of flint, This is jasper here that I found locally. Works nice. This is my favorite little go-to stone when I'm doing flint and steel fires. Fat wood, always have a couple. Even though I have one in my pocket, I've always got a few pieces shoved down here in this pouch. A small tin of char cloth, and my striker for when I make flint and steel fires. So that is my fire kit. Pretty much gives me everything I need to make, you know, an essential fire. Plus I love doing flint and steels, so just extra stuff for that. All right, also down inside here I have an emergency blanket, one of the heavy duty ones that's reflective on one side. Just go ahead and set that down there for now. I'm gonna have to repack this whole thing anyway. A smart wool top, long sleeve top, just in case again the temperature drops unsuspectingly. It gives me an extra layer of protection. I have 55-gallon drum liner, something that I teach should be in every survival kit because it makes a great emergency poncho and water catcher, helps with shelter. And I have my 10-foot by 10-foot tarp from Bushcraft Outfitters. This is their one that they do in a multicam. This particular model, the one they have in multicam, it is fire retardant. So it's actually, I've used it where sparks have landed up on it and no damage. Very nice tarp. I have a ridge line with a bowline knot on one end and a couple pre-made prusik knots rolled up inside of the tarp. I will make my own stakes often, but I've found that if I am in a hurry or need to get a tarp up fast, I like to have stakes with me. So I actually have 6 tent stakes that I carry in a little pouch in the bottom of the pack, ready to go. A few more snacks, sausage and cheese, just because it's something I like. One of those little neck scarves. So if again the temperature drops, my neck gets cold, put this over my head, around my neck, or throw it up over my head for an extra layer. And one of my favorite items, fire season here. When fire season comes, you know, usually sometime in July through the next couple months, there are no fires. You can't have a fire to cook with or anything. So I use one of these little Esbit folding stoves, and I've got it filled up with the fuel tabs, and I have cooked just about everything out there. Soups and stews and chili, eggs, boiled water. Just highly recommend those little Esbit stoves. You can't get anything better for such a small investment. And I think some mosquito repellent shoved down in the back of the pack, because you never know when those are going to hit. And a couple emergency hand warmers. And that is it, guys. That is my 2019 Bushcraft loadout. As I said, there's certain items that are always in my pocket. There's certain items that are always on the belt. Everything else is loaded right here in this EDC pack. I've had it out on some good hikes through the mountains. With the blanket, it's a little heavy, but you know, if I leave the blanket behind me, which I'll be doing, you know, for the summer, unless I'm deliberately staying out overnight, it's very, very comfortable to pack. So you guys will get to see me using this gear throughout the season. Next video, I'm hoping to go out and try my hand at making my very first Dakota hole fire. And as 2019 progresses, I want to try out more new skills that I've never done before. And I don't have any editing equipment, so you guys have to just bear with me. If I make a mistake, try something and it doesn't work out, you're going to get to see it. And I want to say, by the way, to all of you guys that have been hitting the subscribe button, I think we picked up about a dozen new subscribers in the past 2 weeks. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I'm only 3 subscribers away from hitting that magic 100 mark. It's taken a year to get there, but I'm pretty excited about that. So if you guys are checking this out for the first time or coming back to these videos and you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning in to Ochiko Bushcraft again, and enjoy yourselves out there this summer.